Thank you for the opportunity to share my family's experience with you. My name is Venus Harris. I am married and I have 2 sons in Plymouth Canton Community Schools. We moved to Canton 5 years ago, not just for the schools, but specifically for the special education program. Virtual learning has negatively impacted both of our sons. Firstly, my 12-year-old son was a 7th grader in an autism spectrum disorder classroom at one of the middle schools in the district. My family is fortunate because we were able to provide a full-time, always present adult to sit with him the entire time during all of his classroom sessions. We expected that the virtual learning experience would be a challenge for everyone involved, so it was our intention to make the experience as productive, positive, and painless for everyone affected: our son, his classmates, the teachers, and support staff. We understand the challenges of meeting each child where they are in the special needs environment. Success in the special education program depends upon adherence to the child's individualized education program, or IEP. Virtual learning is not conducive to meeting each child where he or she is and cannot target the individual needs of the student. It was our experience that the requirements in our son's IEP were not being met with remote or virtual learning. Subjects oftentimes moved right along to the next level, even though my son did not grasp the material presented in the initial instruction. Building upon previous processes is extremely important, especially in subjects like math. Our son is very even-tempered and always sat quietly in class, even during in-person learning, according to his teachers. He was the same way in the virtual environment, though staying completely focused and engaged during sessions was very difficult. My son became very unhappy and detached when anticipating having to sit and stare at a computer monitor all day. It was loud, disruptive, and confusing as everyone attempted to adjust to the many different home environments. It became stressful to our household, attempting to fit a square peg into a circle hole, and it was clear that we were losing the enthusiasm for learning my child previously demonstrated. Instruction was unclear, oftentimes confusing, and not enjoyable in any way. He was learning very little and falling back educationally. It was impossible to learn, with class being taught by endless videos, lack of clarity, varying degrees of student participation, and endless disruptions. The absence of face-to-face interaction led to increased difficulty following the teacher. Communication lacked, and consequently, we were forced to reckon with an unhappy child who dreaded being shackled to a monitor every day. At this point in time, we are homeschooling my 12-year-old son because the time we spent in virtual learning was not advancing him educationally, and he was gradually losing interest in attending school or learning in any setting. We did not arrive at this decision easily, as both my husband and I work full-time and are considered essential employees. Our workload has increased since the pandemic began, but for us, there was no other choice than to homeschool our son. In addition to homeschooling my 7th grader, I am also juggling trying to help my 10th grader succeed in this virtual learning environment. Prior to remote learning, he used to earn A's and B's in all of his classes. Now we will be happy if he does not fail. My sophomore used to love going to school. He is extremely intelligent and social, and adjusted well as a freshman entering high school. He now hates school, is crabby more often than not, and is struggling to maintain D's in his classes. I'm sorry. He has always taken honors math courses, as he does now, but has become especially difficult for him to maintain a D in honors geometry. He sits in front of his Chromebook for 5 to 6 hours during the school day and is then expected to complete anywhere from 1 to 3 hours of homework in the evening. Why does anyone think this is okay for teenagers to learn in this manner? They are not college students. They are children. As an adult, I would find it extremely difficult to endure a 5 to 6 hour online training course each day at work and then complete additional work in the evening for the course. Most of my 15-year-old son's day is spent sitting in a chair in front of a screen. He is not retaining the information that is presented to him. If it were not for his continued involvement with his football team, I am convinced he would be in a much worse emotional and mental state than he currently is. We are concerned about how far behind he is and how all of this is going to affect his future. PCCS has greatly failed our children. I am no longer disappointed or angry. I am just numb. The administration and school board has had 11 months to put a plan in place that provides a safe in-person learning environment for our children. They have let the children of this community down and have forced many parents such as me to make these types of decisions based on their lack of preparedness and leadership. Our children deserve better. Thank you. I apologize.